Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
We certainly have a whole hell of a lot of rumors, news, gossip, and speculation to get into. Right at the top of the video, a massive release in World Wrestling Entertainment, a huge departure from TNA. Also breaking news on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns coming out on Monday Night Raw last night. And that is just the start. That is just the beginning that we build up here on the prominence, the dominance of SeanzViewEnt Entertainment, where we maintain the viewership, where we get your comments, where we get your expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, just a week or so before TNA's Slammiversary in Boston, Tessa Blanchard gone from TNA Wrestling. Yes, you heard that right. Tessa Blanchard no longer with TNA Wrestling. Is she going to go to the WWE? Is she going to sign a contract with AEW? Or is she done with wrestling altogether? Your thoughts, your comments on Tessa Blanchard. Also, on last night's Raw, Jacob Fatu told Roman Reigns that he handled LA Knight. And Roman said that he needed one more thing and whispered something in Jacob's ear. And if you listen closely, it sounded like Roman Reigns said, Seth Rollins, kill him. Yes, you heard that right. Roman Reigns apparently told Jacob Fatu to kill Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw. Now, this has led to a lot of rumor and gossip and speculation, of course, that this could be an angle or a storyline, but Roman Reigns could be arrested, fined, fired, restrained. I don't know what could happen. This could become very strange if we see a killing on WWE television. Now, that word kill has been thrown around a lot more than we anticipate, a lot more than we expect, a lot more than we've thought we've ever heard that word killed or dead or died. But ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what happened on the red brand of Raw last night. Speaking about that, did you notice that when Roman Reigns was talking about his family and his bloodline, you notice how he didn't mention The Rock? He mentioned all these names. He mentioned all these, stars. He mentioned all these people that were close to him and in his family. He mentioned his blood, whether it were single partners, tag team, whether it was in a team, whether it was in a tandem. Roman Reigns brought it up and Roman Reigns addressed it. But in this one, viewers, in this occasion, at this hour and at this time, Roman Reigns did not bring up, he did not address The Rock, the Great One. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions, is there more to that than meets the eye? Also, there is a feeling, from those that know, there is a feeling that it is actually disgusting. It is disgusting that WrestleMania next year is going to be in Saudi Arabia. That is the feeling amongst those that know that WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia next year is absolutely degrading and disgusting. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, that certainly is not all, because that will not be the downfall. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this time, not only is there a major departure from TNA, but there is also a massive, release in World Wrestling Entertainment. With Tessa Blanchard gone from TNA, WWE talent appears to be gone after Instagram profile change. Is this another wrestler? Is this another star gone? Also, this would go down to the release, guys. We're going to talk about the release. Another WWE departure may have quietly just happened. It's a female, it's a girl, it's a woman in the world of WWE. As Masyn Holiday appears to be gone from WWE after changing her Instagram profile back to her real name, Darci Khan. The former WWE developmental talent is now using her real name on the account, and the Masyn Holiday branding appears to be gone. While WWE has not announced anything, that kind of profile change is often one of the first signs that a talent is no longer with the company. Khan joined WWE through the company's Next in Line programming in late 2023 after competing as a track and field athlete at the Howard University. She later entered WWE's developmental system under the Masyn Holiday name and was part of the company's growing NIL pipeline. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Also, mystery guest has been teased for tonight's WWE NXT. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Also, in some more startling updates on the whole Tessa Blanchard and why she's gone, and Masyn Holiday departs WWE again. Is she going to come to the WWE? Do you want to see, again, we asked it a little bit earlier, but do you want to see Tessa Blanchard in World Wrestling Entertainment. She's one of the, if not the only woman to hold a men's world title in that brand, in that company. Do you remember when Tessa Blanchard was the TNA World Heavyweight Champion? Also, in from there and more news, rumors, gossip, and speculation in WWE. As we go over yet this other headline. Former WWE NXT General Manager Ava addresses angry conservative men coming after over Charlie Kirk remarks. Also, breaking news on why Jacob Fatu absolutely destroyed and took out Eric Andre on Raw. Eric Andre was getting wrecked. He was just a person watching. He was just a fan in attendance. He got wrecked by Jacob Fatu on Raw last night, but it was not just some random celebrity beatdown. It was done as a promotional tie-in for Little Brother, the new Netflix comedy starring Andre and John Cena, which starts streaming on June the 26th. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Also, Ava says that her mom, Danny Garcia, never gets enough credit for the success of The Rock, the great one, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. Also, former NXT GM Ava says there was no one big reason why she left WWE. Also, Tasha Steelz explains why she re-signed with TNA Wrestling. So while we got a re-sign with TNA, we also got a departure in TNA. We got a release in the WWE. We're talking about killings in WWE. Is Seth Rollins about to be killed by Jacob Fatu on WWE TV? Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, because if it weren't for you, there certainly would be no SeanzView. We come through when the lights are absolutely on bright. Guys, that's the headline. That's the title. Seth Rollins killed to be killed. It's either killed or be killed by Jacob Fatu. Also, with Tasha Steelz re-signed with TNA Wrestling, do you think the future's bright for her, or is it so bright she's going to have to wear shades? Paul Walter Hauser says WWE taking WrestleMania again to Saudi Arabia feels pretty gross. FBI claims that terror plot targeting UFC Freedom 250 at White House was stopped before the event. Oh my God. Again, FBI. This is the FBI bringing this up now. So this is pretty crucial. This is pretty developing. This is pretty unraveling. This is pretty substantial. This is pretty important. The FBI claimed terror plot targeting the UFC Freedom event at the White House was stopped. Thank God for that. Also, a major star is set to miss this year's SummerSlam extravaganza. According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this hour and at this time, we are receiving word that Drew McIntyre, and this can change, but Drew McIntyre is not only set to miss SummerSlam, but he could be going off to Hollywood, and he may not return to WWE for a very, very long time. Also, Rhea Ripley's injury status raises questions after WWE Night of Champions poster change. Yes, a major poster, a major change, as Rhea Ripley has been replaced in the WWE. Yes, you heard that right. Rhea Ripley has been replaced by Tiffany Stratton on the WWE Night of Champions poster. Also, ladies and gentlemen, what is next in the Janelle Grant case against Vince McMahon and WWE after private arbitration agreement? This is not the same arbitration WWE and McMahon had been fighting for in the court. The earlier arbitration fight centered around the non-disclosure agreement Grant signed after her time with WWE ended. WWE and McMahon argued that Grant should be forced into arbitration under the agreement with an arbitrator selected under the NDA terms. Also, ladies and gentlemen, WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump administration is moving Education Department oversight of special education and civil rights. They are absolutely moving it. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that certainly is not all. Boy, we're talking about replacements. We're talking about releases. We're talking about killings. We're talking about thrillings. I mean, there is a lot going on, guys, in this episode. This is a jam-packed show. Also, Logan Paul got into a heated confrontation with Green Shirt Guy on Raw, one half of the World Tag Team Champions. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we are also receiving word at this time. And an all-new breaking news update. I mean, guys, do you think Seth Rollins is going to get killed? Has the kill been put out? Has the hit been out for Seth Rollins? Speaking about Seth Rollins, we didn't really see him on Raw last night. Yes, he was in a backstage promo. He was in a backstage vignette to talk about his steel cage match with Braun Breaker at Night of Champions, where hardly any championships are going to be defended. So again, I ask you the question, why are they even calling it Night of Champions? I do not get that. I do not understand that. It should just be called something else. I don't know, bring back an Attitude Era favorite. Bring back a WCW pay-per-view. Bring back an ECW pay-per-view. I mean, unbelievable how you would even have the audacity, have the gall to call it Night of Champions. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous, guys. Unbelievable. How creative or uncreative is that at the end of the day? Also, there's a feeling that Darby Allin has a death wish after dangerous AEW stunts, and it is time to perhaps have a talk with Mick Foley, Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, who may know a thing or two about dangerous stunts. Danhausen gets major Tonight Show shout-out after New York Knicks NBA championship win. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on all of that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about with that, we bring you to the next rumor, the next gossip, and the next speculation here. Coming from backstage, from the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, whether it be the innuendo, we are trying to decipher, we are trying to decide right now as WWE changes big plans for the megastar himself, LA Knight. Breaking news, guys. This is just coming in right now. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. LA Knight has remained one of WWE's most popular stars over the last few years, consistently receiving strong reaction from the fans since 2023. His pop has been absolutely enormous, and a lot of people are questioning why LA Knight didn't win the King of the Ring. Why hasn't he been a world champion? Why hasn't he won the Money in the Bank? Why hasn't he won the Royal Rumble? Why hasn't he main evented and headlined a WrestleMania already? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the outcome sparked backlash online about LA Knight and always being pushed off the edge or being pushed off the cliff, or just when it looks like WWE is going to go all the way with him, they decide to not go all the way with LA Knight. Well, interestingly, a new report from Self-Made Pro claims that as recent as last week, ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. This is major to the report, guys. Absolutely major. LA Knight had been discussed internally as the planned winner of the King of the Ring tournament before those plans were ultimately changed in the last several days. Absolutely unbelievable. Again, guys,
subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
So, viewers, there went my intro again. Interrupted me live on the show. But that's all right. You know, I told you here on Show and View, we don't do AI. We don't do no botches and bloopers. We do botch and bloop sometimes, but we're not going to redo it. We're not going to AI it. We're not going to censor it. So yeah, that just happened. My intro just played as I was talking. But yeah, LA Knight was going to win the King of the Ring. WWE had plans for LA Knight to go all the way and win the King of the Ring, and then LA Knight would have went on. LA Knight would have went on to main event and headline SummerSlam, but now that's not going to happen. That's not going to go down now. According to Fightful Select, we've got a brand new update coming in. We all know that Tessa Blanchard granted release from TNA, but Blanchard actively asked management to let her out of her contract, and the company granted her release. No specific reason had been given yet as to why she wanted to leave. Even though she is done with TNA, fans will still be able to see her in the ring as her current status wrestling for Mexico's CMLL promotion remains completely unchanged. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Because here on Show and View, we bring it to you, we provide it to you to satisfy your taste buds as it concerns all things professional wrestling talk right here in real time. Click that subscribe button, comment below. I want to hear it in stereo, because if it weren't for you, there would be no Show and View. Subscribe!